Hello and welcome to your weekly episode of your Power Packed Podlets. As I'm recording this, it's Friday, the 11th of July. So I'm recording this well in advance of it being dropped in the Telegram space. And it's actually one of my team members that will have dropped this in for you to be listening to it right now because I'm away. I am on a holiday and I'm either disconnected, so 3 weeks of disconnection from being online, and 1 week gradually coming back online before beginning working again. And even then, after 4 full weeks off, I'm going to slowly incorporate myself bit by bit. It's not going to be a sudden start and going full on from day one. And the reason I'm bringing this subject to the table today, and I know this is going to resonate for so many of you in this space, is the importance of having the conversation around inner well-being as a business owner and building a business model and success and wealth and all of the things are in alignment with who you are and how you function. Like the words know thyself are so important as a business owner. Knowing your personality, your energy, your communication, your cycles, how you work in a female body, when you need rest, when you've got more energy, all of those things and working with those as a business owner is going to change your life. Because yes, we have the work around wealth frequency and wealth identity and leadership identity and success identity as business owners. And what is the point of being successful if you're unhappy and unwell? So if you build a business or you are currently running a business that doesn't allow you to rest when you desperately need to disconnect when you need to, that a business that doesn't allow you to get into your creative juices, to do what makes you genuinely happy, then the compound effect of that over time is so detrimental to our mental and physical well-being. So maybe this subject matter you've heard it spoken about before and it's a reminder for you, or maybe it's new. I invite you from now on to make this a top priority on your list of priorities when it comes to building your business and taking it to another level. Assure that what you are doing works with you, alongside your way of being, rather than you trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. Because if you've got a business model that you've set up, which is the round hole, and you're the square peg trying to fit into it, that is why it doesn't work for you. This is why there'll be periods of time where you feel burnt out, exhausted, things aren't going well, you're not getting the results that you want. So how can this look like? And I'm going to share this holiday period as an example. I've been doing my summers this way and gradually refining and adjusting and understanding how to make it even better than it already was. Every single year it gets better and better because I bring awareness to what really, really works for me taking time off. So for me, time off is a non-questionable. To be able to fully disconnect from holding space, creating new things, learning, reading books, being coached, running a business, all of those things, having complete time off, whether I go on a Vipassana or I go to a festival where I'm offline, this for me is a non-questionable. And I'm not saying that every individual should have this as a non-questionable. It's non-questionable because it's something I desire for myself. It's something that for me makes logical sense. To have times where I release all responsibility. I am in full being mode and nothing else. So that I can come back even more present than before, with more wisdom, with more things to share. And in the time off, I'm not thinking about that. I'm just allowing myself to receive and be and receive and be. It's delicious. And there were a few summers. So before I did that, I had maybe 4 summers where I kept saying, I really want to take my summers off. The heat of Spain, giving massage after massage, yoga classes on the beach, boot camp classes on the beach, taking session after session and feeling physically exhausted because of the heat and doing so much. And for so many summers, I kept telling myself, it's so important for me to take time off for my well-being. And then finally, one year, about 6 months before the summertime, I began to set the motions like the process in motion to assure I was going to have that summer off. I assumed it was going to happen. I took one step at a time, organizing the things, even though I didn't have the money in place. I didn't know how I was going to manage financially. I didn't know all of the things that were going to happen. I just assumed. I decided, never again am I working over the summertime. And I set things in motion. And because of that, it made logical sense by the time the summer came that everything was in place, and it was. And each summer I've been refining how to make it even better. And so as that got better and better, and now I have an income coming in even when I'm not working, so a reoccurring income whilst I'm not working. So that was one of the things I realized, okay, so money's not coming in whilst I'm taking my time off, even though I was renting my place and somebody was paying the rent and the bills and all of the things. So that was very helpful back then. I thought, you know what I actually want, rather than renting my place out, is to have a reoccurring income. So how can that look? And so what I started to do, and my invitation with all of the things in your life, is look at the things that aren't serving you and ask yourself, what are the solutions to them? What's the solution to this? Rather than focusing on the problem. This is what people who we're successful at all of the things we set our minds to, is because we don't focus on the problem, we focus on the solution. Okay, so this is what I don't want. So what is the solution to the things I do want? And so every year I'd be focusing on what's the solution? What's the next thing to refine? And I started to realize I would go from being full on at work to suddenly being on holiday. And there was a process of slowing down, of having been holding space for others, the responsibility of decision making, of closing sales, of taking sessions, of going to see my coaches, of taking action. That for the mind and the body, there's a certain momentum. From going to that to nothing, there was a dissonance. It didn't feel right, and it took time to adjust. And not only that, coming back from my holiday, going from nothing to all also felt like a lot. And so what have I now built into my model is I have a week of slowing down before I go on holiday. I'm holding space less. I'm doing fewer things. I'm making fewer decisions. I'm not worrying about what's coming after summer because we've already decided that. So I put that to one side. So tomorrow, when I go on my holiday and my holiday begins, my nervous system and my mind have already slowed down. And I can feel it, that grounding feeling of slowing down. And then what about coming back? It's a slow process of reintegration. 1 week coming back online, the following week only holding space for my current clients, gradually reappearing, gradually momentum, like a steam train, fueling that train to build up the speed, whilst looking at all of the things that are causing me to get into overwhelm or stress and cleaning them up along the way until there's that smooth ride on the other side. And this is not me saying that everybody has to do it that way. This is what I have seen works within myself by knowing myself. By acknowledging everything that does not feel right, work right, everything that takes me into stress, overwhelm, burnout, not being in my power, taking full responsibility for it, and then asking myself, so what's another way to do it? And then I go out and I do it. So let me leave you with this thought or this question. What in your business do you see is not working in alignment with your way of being? And what are the solutions to that? From those solutions, what are the actionable steps that are going to move you forwards? Remember that when it comes to building a business model, this is your masterpiece, your work of art. You get to create it in your unique way. So if you've enjoyed these reflections, if you enjoy being shown the mirror to where you can clean up things within yourself, within your business, with how you're running all of the things, and you actually want this to be a regular part of your life, somebody holding you to a higher standard of integrity in all areas of your business, then you know the answer. Come join us in the school. So when you're listening to this, we'll be in the pause. When we come back, we'll have lots of magical things going on. We've got things in the mix. I can't wait to bring them to you. And my invitation is, you don't need to wait. When you know something is for you, I invite you to be the empowered decision maker rather than sitting on your heels and waiting for something to come to you. The frequency of abundance is also that momentum towards what you want. So if you know what you want is to be inside the school, because you want my voice in your ear on a regular basis, but not only that, you want my eyes on your business. You want me to be mirroring back to you where you're holding yourself back. You're ready for that level of growth. Then reach out and send me a DM. And let's talk about us working together.